Good evening, Dr. Jones. My name is Brandon Mann. I will be talking about today how technology is a companion in our brighter world today and how it enterprises everything around us. If you were born in the late 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, technology has brought itself up as a well broadband of all types of things, of TVs, as you can think about computers from the old Macintoshes, Apple products, cell phones, Apple and Samsung especially. Um, Question is, what would we do without these products today with the technology expanding? I would like to say, how can we adapt to the early life of technology, or from back in the 70s and 90s? What would it be like? What would life be like if we didn't have the new cars, the new Lexuses, anything that has to do with high broad technology? I'm here to inform you that cell phones and access to the internet with certain companion selling product to businesses is also a thing of technology. For example, you can have, it's an example of management information systems where a consumer is as the buyer, and the product, it could be anything between cell phone parts that a company may have, and they don't sell it. They don't sell it to the consumers. They only sell it to the business. That's because they get either it's a cheaper price, or they don't sell it to other people on the streets. And the market of the business is very, very well with technology, with the internet and cell phones. It's growing rapidly, and a lot of things are happening on the go. Each month or so, computers are coming out and so forth. How you impact the world with communication and technology. If you look at the government-wise, how we look at our military forces, we look at all our jobs that has to deal with construction. They need technology. They build highways and stuff like that. That stuff is not done on paper. It's through your computers, your technology and stuff, how it runs like that. So everything is due, like now today, is due through the technology of the world. I've selected these two devices to share the impact from before the years of 2000 of the 21st century, and how from people today integrated with their phones and first computers with internet. Cell phones started with Motorola 1978, which was one of the biggest phones compared to your iPhone or any Samsung Galaxy or your Note today. Also, has everybody today has 3G phone? Do you have a 3G phone?
Yeah.
4G?
Yeah.
Motorola started out with a 1 gigabyte internet service, which is very slow compared to all the phones today.
Yes.
Computers was first invented by Hewlett Packard. Are you guys familiar with HP?
Yeah. Yes.
HP, that's what Hewlett Packard is for. First computer was built in a garage, which is kind of interesting. It was built in a garage by two fellas that made a plan in a garage, and they excelled, with the other companies up before. Their first product was called an HP 200A audio oscillator. If that sounds funny, I can broaden a little bit, expand to that. It's really was back then in the 40s, and that the computers were kind of box-like. It wasn't like your regular standard. You got your box and then your screen. It wasn't like that. It was more of a big old technology with keyboard type thing. Also, those computers were not sold to consumers. They was only sold to businesses, as people, they don't know. People use those for their businesses, back at that time, so they use that for their abilities. Did you guys know that Walt Disney ordered 8 of these models of the 200B models from
No.
HP? Yes, HP. Walt Disney is a big company, as you know. They own ESPN, which you watch that. You watch that on your TV, technology on your screen. How they pinpoint things and certain things like that. Also, cell phones were invented April 3rd, 1973 by Motorola again, with the young fellow Martin Cooper. He also, this is important nowadays than years ago when people were consumers only having house phones and business phones for their businesses. Phone communication is now more expanded where you have the newest selling smartphones today. What phone do you have, man?
I have the Samsung.
Samsung Note
3.
3,
Note
okay.
3.
How about you?
Samson.
Samsung, okay. So you guys like your phone technology is out brand and stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of answers the question. As you can see, selling smartphones today also has the highest new technology out with you may guys, if you know about your phones, it runs off of Android KitKat. And I know if you had an iPhone, it runs off the iOS system, which is the operating system of your phone, how it operates. Let's start with a quote by Alex Denisov. I think most people in the developed world would admit to carrying some sort of a handheld device, whether it's a laptop or a cell phone at all times, which is now today, everybody has a device, about everybody. It's not like the old days where, you can reach nobody or, house phone. Everybody has a device of their own. If they don't, then they had one before. I know they did. This means somebody has at least carried one device of their lifetime. Being that it's so popular now, who doesn't use a device or computer? How you access your internet and stuff like that. Also, where cell phones was used many years ago with the law enforcement, which started in order to keep in contact with their, communicate to catch crimes. I think it was the Detroit police back in the 50s, I believe. 40s. They had communication with the cell phone back then where they were catching crimes, and also, as the cell phone scene was growing, that, what happened when they catch crimes and stuff like that. From history.com, the first workable prototype of internet came in the late 1960s with the creation of, it's called ARP-ANET, so it's ARPANET, of the Advanced Research Project Agency Network, which was a big thing. Technologies had been changing for a very long time, and it's still changing. The internet was the work of dozens of pioneer scientists, programmers, and engineers, who each developed new features and technology that eventually merged to become the information superhighway we know today. From InvestorsAbout.com on April Fool's 1976, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs released the Apple, as you would get Apple phones today. Started Apple computers. The Apple I was the first with a single circuit board was used in a computer, which is old. As we know today, the new Macs are very big and different. As of that, the internet and cell phones have been around for a long time, since the late 60s and 70s, and that has showed how it has progressed over the years. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes. When did Bill Gates started building his computer?
I don't know the exact date of that, but I can check that for you with the information for that. Okay. Thank you.
Great job.